Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this segment of One-on-One on Martin Falls. Today, it's not going to be a one-on-one, it's going to be a one-on-two. We have Timmy Dusenbery and we have Karen Nakan Dusenbery. They're going to be joining us. They're a married couple, in case you haven't figured that out yet in the audience. We're going to talk about their history in music and what they mean to the community, and we'll get a few stories along the way. It's all next on One-on-One. One-on-One is brought to you by the Law Office of Waits and Downer. And welcome back to this episode of One-on-One. I'm Martin Falls, and joined once again by Tim Dusenbery and Karen Nakan Dusenbery. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Martin.
It's been a long time coming.
I know, we appreciate you having us
years.
on.
Yeah, and I see y'all so many times at different things. And Karen, a very renowned music teacher,
Thank you.
and played in the Cane Breakers at one point, and Tim in the Cane Breakers. So Cane Breaker relationship. But I knew y'all before then.
Definitely.
So I guess the goal today is to try to get as much information in the show, because there's a lot of people in the audience that know y'all, that have been associated with y'all, but there's still some that don't. So we're going to talk to those people a lot. Karen, take me back to the earliest years you can remember and sort of set a scene for me. Was it 3 years old, 4 years old? Some people shock me. They go, I remember when I was 2.
Wow.
Well, how the heck you remember when you were 2? But maybe some people do. What year you remember?
Still about 4 years old.
4.
That's when I remember. But my mama would tell me when I was in the crib that when Kate Smith would come on and sing, I would actually literally grab up and pull and start dancing, just to her, nobody else.
Wow.
So I said, well, it must have been an omen, because
Yeah.
I love to sing now.
Where were you born?
I was born in New Orleans.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And where'd you go to school? Where was your first schooling at?
Oh, well, I came back after.
Okay.
They just had me over there, I guess. My first school was West Park.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Tim, what's the earliest years you can remember?
Probably about that same age. I remember as a child, I was helping my mama with the washing machine, you know, them rollers.
Yeah.
That's why I remember it real well. I got my thumbs caught in the roller and pulled the fingernails off, and my mama freaks out. She calls Papa. He was from work. He comes home with a bottle of methylate.
Oh, yeah.
Pours it on me. I'll never forget that.
Mercurochrome.
No, it was methylate.
Wasn't they about the same?
This was some like pouring alcohol. Oh man, that's what I remember.
Wow.
I was about 4 years old.
Wait, y'all had a tumbling thing for the
Oh
clothes?
yeah, Mama.
All those kids,
Those ringers.
Mama
Yeah.
was constantly washing clothes.
they were old-fashioned
Oh yeah,
mostly through their life, huh?
definitely.
I guess they had to with all those kids. You had to
we had
save
to-
a nickel here and there, right?
Yeah, just like that song, "Save a Nickel, Save a Dime," whatever.
Yeah.
We learned the meaning of a dollar. You know, when we were growing up.
What year did y'all meet?
69.
Yeah, 69. That was
In
your
the
last.
summer of
69. That was
Yeah.
it, definitely.
No,
All right.
actually, it was at school. He was coming from the
Choir.
stadium,
I was coming
and I was
from
going
choir,
to the stadium.
and she was going to band.
And he saw me.
No, wait, are y'all going to answer each other's questions all the way
course.
through?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You
know-
asked.
and you
Okay.
know who that reminds me of, huh? Your mom and dad. When I did the one-on-one,
Oh,
and
Lord.
she was going to answer, and he would start, and she'd put her hand on him, and he would just,
All right.
yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Put your
it
hand
did
on my knee,
remind-
babe. I like that.
Okay. So go ahead, Karen.
So anyway, we were going crisscross from the stadium to the campus, and he said, "Hey, beautiful," and I went, "Oh." And he just kept going. I'm like, phone number would be nice, but that was it. That's the first time we ever met.
Yeah.
That was it.
So he didn't follow up?
No, he was dating the saxophone player next to me. That's why
man.
he didn't do that.
Oh,
and that's
well,
good. I thought it was
yeah.
good for him.
There's such a connection between y'all, but it's more than just chemistry, it's musical.
Music.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The music was the chemistry. When you play a gig, are you directing a concert or you have community band? Do y'all go home and talk music all the time?
Yep, pretty much.
God, That doesn't get old?
Uh-uh.
Okay, all right.
No.
You're enlightening me here.
So
So
music is awesome.
what does music mean to your life? It's been a part of your life forever.
It's passion, you know. It's like that's how we grew up, you know. Mom used to say that music was the language of the spirit.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
You said you remember 4 years back, but I think sometime you probably started playing music around when you were 4 years old in
Well,
that family.
Yeah, we all started singing. Mom used to sing us nightly lullabies, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember that when we were kids. And I remember also going under the bed. My dad had his guitar, and I'd pull that guitar out. Boy, I didn't know what I was doing. I just raked my fingers across it. Boy, it sounded so cool.
Yeah.
You know, just like, man, this is what I want to do, you know.
Is that the same guitar that he played at Hank Williams' wedding?
Yep, that one was, yep.
Wow.
It got stolen from him, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
If anybody
It was a,
has that guitar,
It was-
return it.
It was probably about a 1960, maybe 58, I guess, Telecaster, which is priceless right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
The stories of him playing for Hank Williams' wedding. How much of that did y'all know?
Not too much, Martin. He did tell, he used to go around to everybody, says, shake the hand of the man that shook Hank Williams' hand, you know?
Yeah.
And he was playing with Louisiana Playboys, with Vin Bruce,
Yeah.
and some other guys from down Golden Meadow area. And they got the gig to play for his wedding in New Orleans.
That's some legends. I mean, your dad played with that band, but Vin Bruce, I had him on one-on-one. I
Yeah.
had your dad and mom on one-on-one. Now I have another generation
Wow.
on one-on-one. But it's amazing because when Dad died, and I was in his truck, he had 2 CDs in his truck. One was mine, which wasn't in the cartridge, but Hank Williams was.
Oh, wow.
So he loved Hank Williams. So just to play for Hank Williams' wedding, that's legendary.
Yeah, I know.
It really is when you think about it.
Yeah.
Karen, I'm curious, how did music become a part of your life? Because you're teaching all these kids today and you're doing all this and you're in the community band. But when did it start for you?
Well, when Mama realized that I liked music in the crib, and after I got out of the crib.
After Kate was singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She brought me one of these little play pianos, you know, jinky, jinky, jinky things.
Yeah.
I still have it too. It still works. So,
Wow.
and I would just beat on it every time I come back from school or everything. And all of a sudden, when I came in one day after school in first grade, there was a real big piano there. And I was like, okay, now we got something going. So I was on it. She gave me piano lessons and everything. And from there, it just took off. I got escalated. And then when my best friend was in band at Legion Park, she said, why don't you come and play saxophone with me? Yeah, okay. So I did. Yeah. And that started the ball rolling with a lot of music, a lot of marching, just fun. And like you said, passion, it's just instilled with you.
I got put in the band in the 5th grade because my brother had a trumpet, Mike. So guess what I'm gonna play? Trumpet, because mom and dad couldn't afford anything else. But all I remember about 5th grade is I'm sitting in the class going, I really want to be playing sports. All my friends out there in the lot playing football, and Billy King's telling me to quit puffing my cheeks. He ain't telling me, screaming at me, Falls, quit puffing your cheeks. I'd rather be playing football. But then as you get older, music becomes everything.
It's forever.
So, and I say this to the young kids who really want to be a pro quarterback, pro pitcher, or whatever, 0.0001% make it there. So if you have this inclination to play music, play music.
Right.
Your knees will feel better, your back will feel
Definitely.
better, a lot of other
True.
things. The Dusenbery singers, the Dusenbery family was just larger than life when we were growing up. And when we saw y'all, whether it was at talent shows or wherever we were inclined to go when we were kids, it was just such a large group, very large group, singing in harmony and playing and doing things. What's your first recollection of that?
Mama used to get us all together for Christmas to go around Christmas carols singing. You know, we were all babies, you know, and we'd go knock on the door and sing Christmas carols, and that's where it all started right there.
Yeah.
And then, hey, this is cool. So let's do a talent show. So Mama got us all together. We did a talent show, and it just kept going from that. You know.
And y'all won it.
Mom used to say she thought everybody felt sorry for the band because it was such a big family. We went all the time. We had a lot of trophies. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And how many kids were there in the family?
I had 9 sisters and 2 brothers.
Wow.
And everybody sang or played an instrument.
So when it was past the P's, y'all really, you had to wait a while. I mean,
If you weren't there, you didn't get it, you know.
but what was that like? I mean, I come from one of 6. That was big.
That's a big
One
family.
of 11?
One of 12.
Well, 12.
Yeah.
You and 11 others.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was a madhouse. No, it was beautiful. Actually, I'm looking at it, in a very positive way.
Yeah.
We had a lot of great times. The harmony was awesome.
Yeah,
My sisters sing like angels, you know.
Yeah.
beautiful.
And were you
And I
you
was
were
a
the
bullfrog.
mischievous one?
I was the bullfrog in the family.
You were the bass?
Bass, yeah. But
Yeah.
Daddy got me my first bass when I guess I was probably 14. He brought a Fender bass home, boy, I fell in love. That was it.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
Karen, how big a family you come from?
Well, at the beginning, I thought it was just me.
This is interesting.
Then I found out I was adopted, and
Okay.
then from there, I have half sisters and half brothers
Yeah.
from both sides of the families.
Wow.
And so I've never met one side. My other side, I always knew because my godmother was my real mother. So it was very interesting.
Yeah, but
And of
that,
course, I was raised by my great aunt and
but
uncle.
when you think about it, that's sort of cool that you got a second part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have no problems with that. I have a very good life, and my mom and my dad, which was my great aunt and uncle,
Yeah.
they were just great with me.
And when did you fall in love with music, basically, to keep it sort of going in the direction you brought it in?
Ever since I've been little, like I said, with that piano, I've learned everything about that. Then when I migrated to the saxophone, got that going. And then when I was in high school, my band director, Mr. Nicolosi, asked me, he said, "What you going to be when you get out of school?" I said, "Certainly not a band director." Well, I saw what he
Imagine
went through,
that.
what he went through, and kids and stuff like this. But I said, when I got into college, I could go either sports or band, and I said, let me try band. So I did music, and I never regretted it. I loved it.
What sports you play?
Oh, I played basketball, softball,
Yeah.
tennis. I tried out for that a little
Yeah.
bit.
Didn't you coach?
No, I was the guard coordinator for Vanderbilt for a long time. Yeah.
But that's coaching.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you being involved somewhat.
That's what it was. Yeah.
In that. But it just still cracks me up that y'all get together and to be in music, and you teach a lot of lessons, and you're teaching a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yes. A lot of it.
Definitely.
Are you a patient person, Timmy?
Am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Very patient.
You have to be.
Well, those kids are beautiful. I love teaching a child. I really
Yeah.
do. To see them grow, from
Yeah.
that first chord, when they see the lights come on, it's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Sister Mary Ann was our guitar teacher in the 3rd grade at St. Francis.
Oh, wow.
And I'll never forget the dun it, open your ears, oh Christian people.
Yeah.
Just those straight little chords.
Yeah.
But I remember she had to teach us the chords before we could play it in church.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember as a kid, when you got the C and you got the G and you got the D or the E minor, the A minor, you got so excited.
Oh, it was a
Can you see that when you're still teaching?
Definitely, Martin.
Yeah.
It's a delight. You see them it's like a payment, it does something to your soul to see a child grab it,
Yeah. When they grab it,
Oh,
they got
man,
it.
that's it. I teach them the basics, and they take it from there. I teach them how to, how to go from the basic progressions and everything, and I teach them the, it's different little songs, but it's when you see them go home and they want something so bad, they come back to you and they start wailing on the guitar. You go,
Yeah.
where'd you get that from? Just
YouTube.
watching YouTube, and it's amazing what they can do with YouTube these days. When we grew up, Martin, we had to take the 45 and spin the 45 with our hands slowly to hear the licks and emulate those licks. But now they got everything they need on YouTube.
We had Mel's books. What was it, the book?
Mel
yeah.
Bay's
Mel Bay's,
Mel Bay's
yeah.
basic
Yeah, Mel Bay. We had to flip the pages. Now they got YouTube.
I know.
Karen, when you're teaching all of these, and you got to look at the trumpets and the clarinets and the drums in the back and everything else, and you're hearing all this at one time, there's just one of them in that group that can't quite pick it up. How do you, in your own way, get them in line without blowing their spirit?
That is.
Well, I have help sessions after school, and I let them know that. And of course, I teach at Houma Christian.
Right.
And in fact, Timmy is teaching our guitar class after school for one of our fundraisers, and he's doing a great job. The kids love him, and they picking up all kind of stuff too. But with my kids, it's the same thing. Now I'll stop and I'll say, okay, do this. The other rest, y'all work shadow play, get your notes, look at your fingering charts and stuff while I help this one. So I'll give them about a minute or two crash course, okay? Then we get back and everything's working again till the next episode. But it goes like that. It just keeps on moving.
Yeah.
And then eventually they get it and they'll come in after school. If they're really interested, they will be there.
But you can tell,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, Billy King could tell way back in the 5th grade that I really didn't want to be sitting in that trumpet seat. You could tell that as a teacher, right?
Well, yeah, but we work it out with
Yeah.
sports and band. And I said, look, we have a small school now, but it's going to get bigger pretty soon. There's a law in the courts that I think is Brown versus Education or something, education board. So it's a child, if they really want to be in sports and band, they need to have it worked out with the coaches and the band director, which I do. I've always done that, even since I've been teaching way back when. And it works. The kids get what they need to get from the music, and they also need to get what they have from the sports.
Because you get two different things.
Yeah. And then, and I tell them, I said, look, eventually you're going to age out in sports. It's going to happen. But music,
It's forever.
Tim's dad played till he was 83 in New Orleans.
It's
Yeah.
just such
I mean,
a true statement.
Yeah.
Greg Harding, who's big in the community now, who I grew up with and I was in sports with my whole life, would play football at Terrebonne. We played against him in several sports, but at halftime, he wouldn't go in the locker room. He'd play with the band.
Yeah.
He'd march with the band and then play the 3rd and 4th quarter of football.
Yeah.
So you can do both. You're right.
Well, and I got blessed to be able to go teach at my alma mater, Terrebonne.
Yeah.
And I had 4 football players, 2 cheerleaders, and 1 dance team person. And we all it was fun. They did the same thing.
Yeah.
If they were working on the field, I said, don't come back. You need to rest, do what you got to do. But if you're sitting on bench, come with us.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm. This one-on-one program has been brought to you by the law offices of Waits and Downer.